Hey YouTube viewers, this is DragonTamerize. Back finally after a while. Yeah, so good. The explanation is, well, I don't know. My computer decided to die on me like a few months ago, and I had a lot of stuff happen over the past few months. That's why like my videos for Resident Evil and all that stopped because of personal problems, and also my laptop died. Well, I finally got one of my other laptops finally working. It's somewhat doing all right, but still, this one does have to get fixed. But forget all that though. Let's. Today I'm doing my deck profile. I finally got the cards I needed to. Well, most of them I think. You could comment on whatever. It would really help to improve this deck. But this is a Chaos Dragon deck, but it's still trying to get the cards for it, but I do got a good chunk of them finally. So let's start off. Because all right, got my monsters, you got my traps and spells, plus my side. Um, I'm still debating on my other cards I took out of this deck. I put on the side for now, but I probably won't record that. It's just because it's just useless cards. So okay, let's move these out of the way. First, I want to start off that we got three blue eyes. The reason why I put the three blue eyes in is because I always have luck pulling them, and I also have luck bringing out the blue eyes ultimate. He, these guys right here are like a beef or a good beef stick if you need one. The blue eyes ultimate is also another beef stick. So if I'm able to get them out, great. I mean, I got other cards that can back the blue eyes ultimate up to protect them and everything. So especially if you use RMD for them. If you lose the Blue Eyes Ultimate and you use like Light Pulsar or whatever to bring back Red Eyes, and use the ability to be able to bring back Blue Eyes Ultimate if you're in a tight spot. Okay, and I run in this deck two Delta Fires. He's a good card in my opinion, because if I'm able to get another dragon type, let's say like Mirage or something like that, I could use his ability to make a Mirage a regular from a 4-star to a 5-star. Then I could sync for like Stardust, Red Dragon Archfiend, or I could just sync those two together, get out Black Rose. I mean, it's a nifty card. I mean, that's my opinion. Um, he's also good thing to have in the graveyard if you're able to get the Red Nova Dragon out. It boosts his Red Nova Dragon power by 500 each time, so every tuner. Yeah, it's a good backup too, in a way, I think. I also run the White Stone of Legend. We all know what this beauty does. It just, when it gets sent to the graveyard, you just pull the blue eyes out. So also he's another tuner, so that's an additional 500 for the Red Nova Dragon. But also I could use him for summoning like BLS or something like that. And also I can't, this the interplanetary purpley thorny dragon, wherever how you call it. I run him because he's a good card to bring out if need to, if one of my dragons get destroyed and I need something to protect my life points. But also he's a dark monster, so he will be able to help me out, bring out whatever. Of course, Ram D. You can't have Ram D without, but can't you have a Chaos deck without Ram D. He's a good card plus a good beef stick. And like I said before, Mirage, and what is this? Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah, so Mirage, his ability basically every time I go into battle phase, I can stop trap cards on my opponent's side of the field cannot be activated. But I mean, he's a good stall in the battle phase if necessary. Let's say I get like one of my other dragons out, like Blue Eyes Ultimate for example, and I don't trust my opponent's cards that are face down. summon him. Let's say hypothetically his cards are like they have like a mirror force, for example. Use his ability during the battle phase. Blue Eyes ultimate could automatically attack, and there'd be no risk unless he uses a monster card. I just forgot to put the sleeve on him, but you do need DAD, or Dad, for example, for shorter turns. He's a good beef stick, with his ability also be able to banish on the cards and everything like that. I think he would be an excellent choice in this deck if necessary. If you're like in a tight spot, or if you really need something to take out your opponent very quickly. I run two golem dragons, because they're good defense, but also their ability that if your opponent attacks, you have him on the field. They have to attack him when you have two. It's basically it stops the attack because it's an infinite loop. Um, Hopefully they don't decide to ban him, bring him down to one, because that would suck. Oh, okay. So I do run two mirages, but I apologize for that. I run one Eclipse Wyvern. We all know what he does. I'll use if I ever need, use him to get Dark Flare, Light Pulsar, or whatever. He's a good card. I run three Light Pulsar dragons. Um, I mean, his ability is great too. When to get back your Ram D, whatever, and maybe other cards if necessary. But you really want to use him to get Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon out, because then you use Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to bring him back, and it's like an infinite loop right there. You can bring him back and forth. Um, yeah, I run two Dark Flares. Um, can't really say. I hardly ever. Just recently got these cards. I don't know. Haven't really used this card yet, but I'm glad I have him in here because his ability is great in certain ways. Of course, BLS, you can't have a Chaos Dragon deck without BLS. Badass card. I run Gores, just in case if something happens that I have no monsters in the field, he could come out, and I have a beef stick, a 2000 piece stick. And I run Chaos Sorcerer. He's a good card. I mean, yeah, you got hit down to one, but hey, I like his ability, and he's a good card to use if you're in a tight spot and you need to get rid of one of your opponent's cards. He's the best thing to go for. He's just basically a weaker version of BLS, or actually, yeah, something like that. But yeah, so that's my monsters right there. Um, Now we gotta go. Let's start with the spell cards. I run two MSTs. Here we go. MSTs. I use them. So let's say I got an opponent has a trap card, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I use a monster. I have a Monster Reborn, common card. I mean, I always use them in my decks. I run two Gold Sarcophagus. I use it to get whatever cards I need to get out in 2 turns. Helps me out in the long run. I run naturally a Dark Hold. I run heavy. I have polymerization for the Blue Eyes Ultimate. That's the only time I use it. Other than that, it's useless. And also I use Dragon's Mirror. The reason why I used to run 2 Dragon's Mirrors, but I took out one because I always somehow pull this card out very quickly. I don't know, maybe it's just the way my shuffling, whatever, but I have this just for the right occasion, because I have, I'll show you in a little bit. But yeah, that's the spell cards. Now, Everyone's gotta say why you run this card, but I don't really care. You can comment, subscribe, whatever. Um, I run in here a Starlight Road. It's a good card to stop. Like some of you decide to use a heavy or a dark hole or something. It's a good card to use. Also allows me to bring out Stardust. I run two Compults. I like this trap card because if, let's say, I want to get rid of an opponent's monster, but I don't want to attack, I can use that and get rid of it, and or protect my own monster or whatever. I mean, it's good different combinations you could use for that. I think, anyways. I run two Boundless. I like this card because you can banish one of your opponent's monsters if it's 1500 attack or less. Torrential. I run one Call of the Haunted. I I've seen a lot of other guys on YouTube they run like 2 or 3 Call of the Haunteds. Well, to me, I think it's just overrated because if you use a Monster Reborn, Call of the Haunted, and a RMD, and you got other cards that could bring back monsters, I think it's kind of useless or pointless, or say, to run 2 or 3. I mean, also the monster gets destroyed, it's pretty much down the field, and you can't take it out until you use Heavy Storm or something. So that's kind of, I don't know, overrated. I use one Solemn Judgment. I might be thinking about switching it with Solemn Warning, but I'm not 100% certain yet. But I'm probably just put that on the side. Um, yeah, it's a good card to use if you're in a if you have a tough situation. I run Mirror Force, in case of something bad happens. I mean, yeah. Well, that's the deck. Now for my side, I run five-headed. The reason why I run five-headed because he's a beef stick, but also because he can't be destroyed by battle with any other attributes except light. So he's a good card to have. Yeah, you could destroy him with heavy or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, and yes, he'd be dead in the water once he goes in the grave. But I mean, he's a good card to have. That's why I had Dragon's Mirror. Dragon's Mirror gives me the ability to summon him out if I don't have 5 dragons or 1 dragon and then have 5 cards, 4 dragons in my hand or something. I mean, he's a good card to use when you have other cards you can just banish. I say, for an emergency if you need something strong to pop out. Of course, Blue Eyes Ultimate because he's a beef stick as well. Plus, he's light. But also, here's another addition I think for five-headed. If somehow he gets destroyed, you could use him for BLS or something with the blue eyes. And I mean, he's a dark monster, so he's a good thing to have. I run. Where's it? I run a Stardust. You know, I mean, yeah, Stardust could be useless in this deck, I think. But then again, he might not because I mean, come on. Ability like this that he has, I think is a pretty good card to have. And like, it's saying, well, you're trying to build up something, or you're trying to protect a certain card so you can summon in something else. He's a good card to have. Yeah, it's just I don't think it's pointless. As certain people say, oh, he's not a good card to have in this deck, but I don't think that's right. I run Black Rose because let's face it, this card has a good ability to blow everything up. I also run Red Dragon Archfiend because of his ability. Yes, I know he has a drawback. If he can't attack, then all my cards are destroyed. But, I mean, he's a good card to have. He's a beef stick and everything. Also, then I have his second evolution, I believe, Red Nova. I mean, he's an excellent card. I think he's like one of the second most powerful cards I think in this deck because of the fact of his couple of main abilities. You gain 500 for each tuner in the graveyard and all that. I run Iron Chain Dragon. I don't use. I mean, I don't have any iron chains in this deck, but I mean, he's good by himself just because of the fact of the ability to get rid of the three top cards of my opponent's deck if he gets if he attacks my opponent directly. Um, I use Gaia, the fierce force of the earth. Um, I mean, he's a good card because he's basically another beef stick, you know, or if you need somebody to come out just to protect your life points, I mean, he's a good card to have. I run Exploder Dragon. Well, yeah, I think this card is damn well good in that for effects. I mean, come on, his ability. I mean, if you need to get rid of something, I mean, he's the guy to go. Also, I have tried to Trigodian. He's a good card if I wanted to get rid of all my cards in my hand so he could attack 3 times in a row. So, I mean, if I want just to get rid of my opponent's cards and then just use him to attack twice him directly, I mean, come on. That's the game right there by itself or close to it. I run number 17 Leviathan Dragon. Um, I think this card is pretty good for my perspective because I mean, if I can't summon or like I can't sync or something, I just overlay to summon him, and yeah, I mean he's an excellent card. Yeah, I mean the drawback if you take both materials, he has 3,000, but he can't track directly. I mean, yeah, but other than that, he's a good beef stick to protect your own life points and everything like that. And also, the final card I use is Utopia. Um, he's a good card just to stall if necessary. I mean, yeah, he's 2,500, so he's somewhat of a beast stick, but he's basically to me he's like a guardian in this game. I mean, because his ability to you just detach one material, he can stop a monster from attacking, and you don't lose any battle damage. I mean, that's the best thing to have for defense if you fail to draw something that you need. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck. I mean, I might make another video for my side, but I might not because I'm still trying to think what to side for. Um, yeah, guys, please write, comment, give me your opinion. I don't care if you want to be rude about it or whatever. Hey, comments are comments. At least try to help me out here because I am thinking I want to try to get into tournaments with this deck, but I'm not completely 100% because I know this deck does need a improvement and probably some new cards. I mean, come on, almost every other month or every 6 months or something, I think they come out with something new that's even more powerful than the cards that you have. Yeah. So like I said, please write, subscribe, comment what you think about this deck, and I mean just really give me your honest opinion about it. So this is DragonTamerize signing off.